check and let me know. All right. It looks like we're live. Uh-oh, it says a destination could not be started. I think that Instagram isn't working. That's okay. We're live on YouTube, on Facebook. What's up, everybody? I can see your comments as they come in. So thank you all for being here. As you may know from the banner below, you can see that we're running a May sale right now. And I thought it would be fun to teach one of my students from Rachel's English Academy live for you here. So as I work with the student, her name is Irina, you can ask any questions in chat and I will be sure to answer them as they come in. I might be answering them at the end so I can focus on working with her. But I want everyone out there to see what the experience of working in the Academy might be like and the kind of materials that you have access to. So, without further ado, Irina, I'm going to unmute you. Actually, I might have to ask to unmute you. You might actually. Can you just do your own volume?
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
That's okay.
Okay. Now, does everyone see Irina? Can everyone hear Irina? Irina, can you say a little something?
Hello everybody. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome.
Thank you, Rachel, for having me.
Thank you for being here. And Ali, can you let me know that on the live stream, not in Zoom, but on the live stream, can everyone hear both mics? That would be great. Okay, so Irina, your native language is Russian.
Yes.
And of course, your name would have a couple different pronunciations in American English, but you've chosen Irina. Is that right?
Yes.
I like it. Pretty.
Right.
So tell me about what you use English for, how long you've been studying, why you signed up for the Academy in the first place.
Okay, so as I said, I'm from Russia and my native language is Russian. And my job, I worked in some, right now I'm working in some educational settings. So that's why I need English and I need to improve my pronunciation. First, I just watched your videos and I learned my pronunciation from your videos. And last September, I took the intensive course and that was it was a breakthrough because I understood what placement was and how to produce some sounds. And after that, I joined in the academy.
Who was your teacher for the intensive?
Alicia.
Alicia. Yeah, she's sweet.
Yeah. Yes. It was a real breakthrough for me because I've never heard about the placement. So right now, currently I'm on module 8.
Okay.
So I'm working on,
You know, most people haven't heard about or thought about placement, even though it's one of the things that can most affect how you sound in another language. And for people who want to sound native, it's very important. For people who just want to be understood, you don't have to have perfect placement, but it is a part of the natural sound. Okay, Irina, I wrote down a couple things that I want to work on with you. And also, if you have any specific questions, we can get to those. But one thing that I noticed, I wrote down this phrase that you said. You said, that's why I need English. And when I was listening to the videos that you posted to the community earlier, I noticed you have a good job of contrast. Your short syllables are short. What I noticed with this sentence is it was shaped a little bit like this. That's why I need English. So the pitch change was good, but there wasn't a smooth connection between the pitches. And instead of that's why, I want that's why. Always changing, never staying in the same place. So let me hear that in slow motion, very connected. That's why.
That's why.
Yeah, let's even take that and let's make it go down. That's the down and then up. That's why.
That's why.
Exactly. I like that. The first time you did it, that was still flat. but I want to always be moving up or down. That's so smooth and natural in American English. Okay, so we're going to add another word. That's why I. So I want to hear, that's why I.
That's why.
Let's slow it down. That's why I.
That's why I.
Exactly. Why I. It feels kind of weird, but there's no break. The sound just keeps going. All right, so need is also going to stay low. That's why I need, but it's going to start coming up. Need English. Let's do that whole phrase like that.
That's why I need English.
Exactly. So our pitch is either going up or falling down from that stressed syllable. Let's just take need English and it's going to go need English.
Need English.
Need was a little flat. Need. I want it to be rising towards the beginning. Yes.
Need English.
Exactly. That is it. So before it was a little bit blocky. That's why I need English. I could totally understand everything you said. But in order for it to be a little bit more natural, we want the smoothness of it. And that smoothness is so sticky. It's like stretching up, pulling down. It's never like that. Okay, so let's just take need English. And we're going to try to speed it up, but still keep the need.
Just need English.
Yes.
Need English.
And now, so let's play it, say it. I'm going to get faster. So for everybody out there, the play it, say it method is where she will repeat after me many times in a row, and I'm not going to tell her what to change. Just by the act of her listening and repeating, she is going to maybe make some little changes. Okay. Need English.
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 Good. That sounds good. And your need no longer feels flat. It feels like it's connecting up. And that's what we want. We always want up or down. So let's, for a challenge, let's try the whole phrase. That's why I need English.
That's why I need English.
Exactly. That was perfect. It was very smooth and connected. At that point, it's almost like a song, right? That's why I need English.
Yes.
And that's exactly how we want it to flow. How does that feel to you to be thinking of that way and then trying to speak in that way?
So when I work on some isolated phrase, individual phrase, it's okay. But when I started talking spontaneously, I slip back to my... That
makes sense. And I mean, that just comes with more time and more practice, and also maybe doing some recording exercises where you're listening to yourself, listening back. But when you're focused on it and you're able to do it, does it feel good? Does it feel hard? How would you describe how it feels?
It's not. I cannot say that I feel hard. It's okay for me.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It feels okay. It's just changing your idea before you jump into it. Okay, I'll probably want to work on that some more later, some of the smoothness. But right now I also want to pivot to R. R is such a hard sound for so many different native language backgrounds. I wrote down 3 different words from when you were speaking earlier. So one of them is the word very. It was a little bit more with a flapped R, very, a little bit like that when you were speaking. The R we should be able to hold out. So let's hear you try to hold it out very. Very.
Very.
Excellent. So now we're going to hold it out, but not quite as long. Very. Excuse me. Let me do that again. Very.
Very.
Yeah. And now we're going to do it normal pace. And you're doing a good job with the up-down shape. I'm not getting very, but I'm getting very. And I want to keep getting that smooth change in pitch. Very.
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 Perfect. Your R is perfect. There's no flap at all. One thing I want to try is, can we make the ending syllable even quieter and shorter? So it's going to sound like this. Re, re, re. Let me hear you just do that. Re.
Very. Very.
I want just the last syllable.
Very.
Re.
Very.
Re. Re.
Very. Re. Re.
Yeah,
re,
yeah, exactly.
Re.
And see if you can do that with very little mouth movement. Re, 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 re.
Re. Re.
Mm-hmm.
Re. Re. Re.
Can you do it shorter? Re.
Re.
Yeah, I don't want it longer than that. I know it feels very, very short. Let's see if we can do it. Very.
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 Good. I still think your E is a little bit longer than it would have to be, but I love the shape that you're giving it. It's so clear. When we glide up and glide down with that pitch variation, it makes it so easy to understand. And also your R is coming out very cleanly and clearly there. Also, the flapped R, very, that is another thing that makes it feel like this. Very. Right? So smoothing out the R, smoothing out your pitch is helping the R, and the R is helping smooth things out. So that is just awesome. Okay. You also said the word breakthrough. Let's forget the through. Let's just do break. And it was a little bit, again, like a flap when you were speaking. Bre, bre. Let me hear you say brr.
Brr.
Yeah, you have a good R for sure. That's great. Bray.
Bray.
Yes. So again, you did a really good job of imitating the shape. And I want everyone out there to notice how much I'm talking about the shape. The way that we move our voice up and down matters so much to us being clear, to us being people understanding us, and to also just sounding natural. It's never chopped. It's never jumpy. It's always bray. So that was perfect. Let's try it now with a K at the end. Break.
Break.
Yeah, your R is great. Now I'm going to try the whole word. Breakthrough.
Breakthrough.
Yes, great. Now there was one other word I wrote down with an R. Irina, let me ask you. You're doing a really good job adjusting the R right away. Have you done quite a bit of work on the R already? Or because it seems like you know the sound. It's just a matter of getting it into your habit. Would you say that's true?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah.
Have you been working with the soundboards on R? Because if you're in Module 8, you haven't gotten to those yet.
Mostly I worked on vowels.
Yeah, okay.
Vowels, yeah.
Well, then it's just the stretchiness that is helping with the R, because we cannot hold out, we cannot be stretchy with R if we're flapping it. We have to be holding it out to have that shape. Okay, but let's try this word. This one, in this word, it is a vowel. And it's the word work.
Work.
Good. I want to just say it with you a little bit. Work.
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 I'm going to put it into a sentence. I'm working.
I'm working.
Yes. Now, what I did there, I made an unstressed syllable at the beginning, an unstressed syllable at the end, with work in between. And what I want, you did a good job with the gliding up and down. It wasn't blocky. But I want the first and the last to be even shorter. Let me hear you just say I'm like I am. I'm. Exactly. Maybe even quieter. I'm. Shorter. I'm.
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 Yeah, that's what I want. It's weird because it sounds so different. We're used to thinking I'm. But we need more contrast than that. I need it quieter, shorter, lower. Okay, so now we're going to put it into the phrase, I'm working.
I'm working.
Exactly. Your I'm was probably half as long that time as the first time you said it. And somehow it being shorter makes the whole thing more clear. It flows more for me. My mind can organize it better because the rhythm is more what I'm expecting. Okay, great. Wow, you did an amazing job fixing your R. I have nothing else to say about the R. So I would love to get a little bit more, some more phrases to work with. So why don't you tell me, well, where do you live? Tell me a little bit about where you live now. I'm not sure, are you still in Russia? Do you live in another country at this point?
Currently, I'm in Russia,
Uh-huh.
in Url.
Okay, let's take that. So we're going to say currently I'm in. So cur is the only one. Currently I'm in.
Currently, I'm in.
Yeah. So it's the same vowel that we have in were. Cur. Let me just hear that with an up-down shape. Cur.
Her.
Yeah, that's good. Before it was a little bit more open. Ka. But now cur, you're getting it more focused. And I like that sound. Current.
Current.
Yes, that's perfect. Currently.
Currently.
Yes, that is also perfect. So what was it? Currently, and then we're going to throw in I'm in. And those two words are not going to be loud or long or clear. Currently, I'm in.
Currently, I'm in.
Well, you know what? Sometimes with Russian speakers, the L is a little effortful. And I feel like that's happening with you a little bit currently, lately. It's lighter and faster currently. La 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 la. Can you do that?
La 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 la.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah,
Currently.
it's right.
Currently.
It's very light. Currently.
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 Okay, you're doing a little bit cur. We don't need to push that. We don't need to push that much air into it. Currently. It's a little bit easier. Currently.
Currently.
Uh-huh.
Current.
Currently I'm in.
Currently, I'm in.
Good. Currently I'm in.
Currently, I'm in.
Now I'm going to take the word in. It's a little bit in. In.
In.
Right,
In.
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 That's it. Currently I'm in.
Currently, I'm in.
Very good. You made a great adjustment on that vowel. And now, Russia. So one more up and down. And the at the end is so short. Russia.
Russia.
Yes. Very good. Really good contrast. So everyone out there watching, the things that are important for me to be able to easily understand her are the change in pitch, smooth is good, and also the short being really short. Russia is exactly what I want to hear. That sounds like a native speaker. There's nothing I would really say about that. Now, let's try the whole phrase. Currently, I'm in Russia. And I want everyone out there to notice how fast Lee I'm in is. Currently, I'm in Russia. You try it.
Currently, I'm in Russia.
Pretty good. It's a little bit of a tongue twister to get it all out, right? No problem. Let's just play it, say it. And it is going to take your mind and your body some time to organize it. No big deal. Currently, I'm in Russia.
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 You know, I'm noticing a little bit transitioning from the N to the R. There's a little catch happening there. In-ra. Can you try that really smooth, really gooey? In-ra.
In-ra.
Yeah, in-ra.
In-ra.
It's still a little bit inna. I don't want that before ra. In-ra. 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 Ner.
In-ra. In-ra.
Yeah.
In-ra.
Yeah, that's better. In Russia.
In Russia.
That's pretty good. In Russia.
In Russia.
Let's just play it. Say it. In Russia.
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 Now there, did you hear? You stopped and you restarted. In Russia. We don't want that. I think also the N can be less of a big deal. Like, my tongue, maybe it's not making as much contact with the roof of the mouth. It's just so lightly touching it. Because in isn't what's important. It's the R that we're going for. That's our stress syllable. So think about the N being lighter. In Russia.
In Russia.
Yes. So there, perfect. It just falls into the line. It doesn't have its own sticky release. In Russia.
In Russia.
Yes, in Russia.
In Russia.
Perfect. And hopefully that makes it a little bit easier. I mean, I know that changing a habit is never easy, but what we're doing with the tongue to make the N is a little bit less work. So everyone who's joining on Facebook, YouTube, I just want to say welcome. I'm working with my student, Irina. She's a student at Rachel's English Academy. When did you join, Irina? Was it last fall? Last fall?
Yes, last September.
So you've been in the academy for about 8 months at this point.
Yes, right.
How much time do you practice? Or my first question is how often? How many times a week?
I try to do it daily when it's possible for me, but sometimes I have some breaks due to my routine things.
Yeah.
But I follow your instructions. I try to practice 1 or 2 weeks for each sound.
Okay, great. And about how long per day are you able to spend on that?
It's pretty, maybe 1 hour or more.
Nice.
Sometimes more.
I'm glad that you are motivated enough to do that because some people can't quite make that much time. But I'm also glad that there's enough work in there for you to fill that time with stuff that you actually feel like doing. Have you done essentials at all?
Just 1 module.
Yeah, okay.
The first module I tried.
Okay. There are 2 other modules there now, and a 4th one is maybe coming later today. It's a 4-module course, and I still have just a few things left, but it's almost done, and it's almost there. And for everybody, excuse me, for everybody who has been following on YouTube or Facebook that has thought maybe you're interested in trying something more structured, Essentials is a great place for you to go because it really holds your hand through the whole process. By working with students like Irina, I learned what I needed to tell them to make them more successful. And so I tried to just bake that right into Essentials so you don't have to think, you just go and you do it. Okay, Irina. Before we go on to find another phrase to work with, I did want to give you the opportunity to let me know if you had any questions or you have any words that you've been trying to work on that you're finding tricky.
Okay, so what about connection between R sound and TH?
Yeah. That's a tricky one. So let's take for example the phrase farther than. Further than. Or do you have a phrase that you haven't that you have in mind?
Okay. Further than it's okay.
Okay. You're doing it perfectly. But yeah, let's try it. Let's just play it, say it a little bit, and I'll see if I can focus in on anything that I think would make it easier. Sort of like we found with the N into the R for in Russia. Okay. Further than.
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 Yeah, that was excellent. The time before it was a little bit like a D. Further than is a little bit what I heard. And then you switched it. I don't know. Did you hear that? Did you notice that?
No.
Yeah. So this is what I really like about the play it, say it method is sometimes my students don't even really know what they're changing, but I don't mind that because when they build the new habit, it doesn't matter if it happened by like thinking it through and knowing what I changed. sometimes that almost slows us down more than just closing our eyes, listening, doing it. Our body is making these little adjustments and our ears hear it and feel like, yeah, that's right. And so it's just sort of building that skill more than thinking through, okay, for the R, my tongue is doing this, and then it's got to come through the teeth, and then it's got to, that can really slow us down. So, but it sounds great, and it is linking with no extra sound in between. Let me see if I can come up with another, okay, I'm going to say for them. That's going to be what we work on now, for them. So linking an R. Actually, I kind of want to do one with an unvoiced TH. Well, let's do for them to start. The unvoiced TH is a little bit stronger. There's more air in it. The voiced TH, like in them, there's a little bit less happening. Okay, so let's just say it for them.
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 Okay, now I'm going to put it into a sentence. This is for them.
This is for them.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's really smooth. So does that feel good and smooth?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I don't think we need to worry. Now, let's take the word birth. There we have an R linking into an unvoiced TH, which can be a little bit more tricky. I'll just say the word and then you say it. Birth.
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 Birth like birthday.
Birth.
Yeah. Birth.
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 Let's do the whole word. Birthday.
Birthday.
Interesting. There it felt like it became a little bit more effortful when we tried to add on the D. Birthday.
Birthday.
Yeah, good. Birthday.
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 Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I could see how in the whole phrase it got a little bit more effortful. The R was a little bit less accurate and the D was a little heavier. Birthday. So let's take the whole phrase. Remember, you're just doing play it, say it, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking light, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Now I'm just going to do birthday. Birthday.
Birthday.
Birthday.
Birthday.
Now I'm just going to do birth. Birth.
Birth.
Yeah.
Birth.
I like that a lot. When we're adding on the D, your vowel in birth is changing a little bit. It's like the effort of the upcoming D is changing it a little bit. Let's just do birth several times. Birth.
Birth. Birth.
Birth.
Birth.
Birth.
Birth.
Birth.
Birth.
Birth.
Birth.
Birth.
Birth.
So that's perfect. Now with the day, I don't want day. I want day, day. Light D, a very light D. Birthday.
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 Now I'm going to hold out the vowel in the first one. Birthday.
Birthday.
Yes. There you go. Birthday.
Birthday.
Yes. So when you're adding the day, the D is a little bit heavy, and somehow that's also influencing the R. The way to focus in on the R is going to be to hold it out. So I think I would have you practice it that way, and also maybe the whole word in slow motion, birthday. And work on that and think about your R. Maybe just do birth a whole bunch, then put in birthday. But Irina, we have a course in the Academy that's sort of new, where if there's a phrase that you want to work with in a soundboard that doesn't exist, you can just let us know, hey, please record this phrase for me. And then we can put it in there so that you can work with it regular pace, slow motion. Happy birthday and just birthday by itself would be great. I don't know if they're already there, but definitely can you email us and tell us to record that for next month, because being able to work with a soundboard with a tricky word, as you know, just the repetition of it will help make it easy. But overall, Irene, you sound great. Like I said, I was listening to your posts in the community when you introduced yourself, when you were working on Module 8, and I thought, wow, her rhythm is really good. You're really doing a nice job of having short, unstressed syllables. But one thing I want you to think about, especially if you do some recording yourself and listening to it, is I want you to think about the pitch change always being this and never being this. Always kind of sloppy and smooth. And one way that can help you focus on that is if you go to one of the conversation courses and you work in slow motion. When we work in slow motion, we notice even more the connection up and down between the words. So practicing in the slow motion for, a week maybe, and then doing the regular pace can help ensure that sloppy stretch up and down. Okay, keep up your good work. You're welcome. And be sure to keep posting in the community. As you know, you've worked with Alicia. It's a great way to get feedback and just make sure you're staying on the right path. But you sound amazing.
Okay, thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being on this live stream.
Okay.
Bye. Okay.
Bye-bye.
I am going to go ahead and answer questions that come in. Let me have 1 second to put Irina back into the classroom. Irina, you are no longer live streaming. I want you to know that. But you're still in the classroom for all the Academy students. So I'm going to put you back there in attendee. Okay. Perfect. Okay, let's look at some questions that came in. From the Academy, a student said, could you please demonstrate how to make T plus the R vowel in words like turn, turtle, turkey, turnover? So in all of those words, the T is starting a stressed syllable. So it is a true T. T, t, t. When we make a true T, there's a stop of air and an escape. So we should be able to feel that escape. T. Now we don't want it to be t, too heavy, too much air. It's light, t, 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 t. But we should definitely feel that puff of air on our hand. So to go from that, t, where the tongue is here, teeth are together, t, to when we release, we don't have to drop the jaw much. We just let the air out. T. The tongue is then going to just pull up and back a little bit, not even as much as I'm showing here. It doesn't pull back all the way here. It just pulls back like here. So the tip is pretty far forward, but it's not touching anything. So it does have to pull back enough to not touch anything. But we don't want to pull it too far back because then it starts to sound like and that sounds a little bit hollow to us. So we just want and you can see the lips take on a shape that's not totally relaxed. And really, just like when I was working with Irina, the best way to work on this with any question with R is to hold out the R. Turn, turn, turn. And just do that over and over. The longer you hold it, the more your ear and your mouth can work together to make the sound that you know is right. Okay, a couple other questions came in. Parashant has asked, I started Essentials a couple days ago. I did not join the community yet. Should I join the community as I go through the coursework? Prashant, you don't have to. I love the community and you can get teacher feedback there. I think that's important, but a lot of people don't want to post to the community. They don't want to put their video out there. The Essentials is made so that you can improve without needing teacher feedback because of the method that we've put in there, the way that we've taught you to work with the materials. However, if the idea of having teacher feedback is interesting to you, if the idea of conversing with other students, commenting on people's posts, that kind of thing is interesting to you, then definitely join. But you don't have to. You can absolutely move through Essentials and make progress without having that extra layer. Okay. I have a couple questions coming in from Facebook and YouTube. Someone asked about the Academy membership procedure, Hassan. So we have changed it a little bit. It used to be you could only get Academy through subscription, but we've changed that so that now you don't have to have recurring payments. You can buy one course, which is Essentials. You pay for it once and you own it forever. You can keep doing it over and over. Or you can buy everything, all of the courses, you have them forever. You can keep doing them forever and ever. So those are the two ways to do it. It's no longer a subscription membership. So you can find out more by going to rachelsenglishacademy.com. And also, if you go now, you can use the code. What is the code? Just 10. Hold on, I have to switch back to this view to see the code. Join during this webinar for an extra 10% off using the code, live 10. So if you use the code live 10, you can get an extra 10% off until this webinar is over. Then you have to wait until the next one. Another question came in from someone named Zezototic. And the question is, how much time do we need to speak English? So it depends so much on your exposure on a regular basis. For me, I work with students that are already intermediate to advanced. They already have a certain command of the language and they need to work on their listening and their speaking. And for that, with the Essentials, students can see and understand real change in their own voices within a couple of weeks because of the way that we've set it up. Now, of course, it takes time to make those habits. You can make a change without making it a part of your everyday spoken English habits. That takes more time, more training. But as far as being able to understand how to make a change and starting to make that can actually happen pretty quickly with the right materials when you already have like a certain basic enough level of English. Now, if you're starting with English, the Academy is not the right place for you. As I said, we're really for intermediate to advanced students to sharpen their speaking and listening skills. We're not for learning the basics of English. So hopefully that answers your question. You guys, I'm going to be going live all week long as part of this launch. And I hope that you'll take the time to check out rachelsenglishacademy.com. Maybe you'll like what you see there and you'll think, I'm going to sign up because everything is on sale now. It's not going to be as cheap next week if you look. So check it out. You saw one of our real actual students, Irina. You saw how we work together in a live class. Hopefully you got a little bit of an understanding of the materials and the method that you'll get in the Academy. But also we do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you do sign up today during the sale and you think, I don't know that this is really going to work for me, just email us. Say, it's not for me and I want a refund. We'll do that for you. Also, if you do sign up today, today's the first day of our sale. And if you do sign up today, then you get the first day bonus. And the first day bonus is some office hours with me during your first week. So it's a Zoom classroom. You'll be able to come in. We can turn on your camera. You can ask questions. We can work together to make sure you understand how to use the Academy, how to get the most out of it, to make sure that you are going to be successful as you start this journey with me at Rachel's English. So thank you guys so much for tuning in here. Wonderful to see you guys. By the way, I saw someone saying Life 10 is the discount. It's not. It's live with a V. LIVE 10 is the discount to get 10% off. That is going to end in a few minutes when this webinar ends. But that discount code will periodically work as we go live. But you should just sign up now. We'll keep it live for 5 more minutes. So, team, do not take down the live 10 coupon for 5 minutes. Let's give these people 5 minutes to get in there. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Great to see you, and I will see you again soon. And to all of you out there in the class in Rachel's English Academy, thank you so much for joining me here. And you got an email about all the extra times that we'll be going live during the sale. So feel free to chime in as much as you want. As I said, your questions are getting put in a spreadsheet so I can see them and I can answer them at the end of each live stream. Thank you, everybody. Mwah! See you later.